Hello world, hello YouTube, hello Flosstube. I'm here finally, someone would say. I'm new to this world, well, rather new. Less than a year ago I found Flosstube and have been following it since then. And a couple of friends who are also Flosstubers sort of like that, hey yeah, come on, do your own, and here I am. I'm Mia, I'm from Finland. I'm almost 57 years old. Well, turning on Friday. Age is just a number. I have 3 children. I have a grandson. My parents are still alive. Oops. I have 2 brothers and their families. And I live alone, no pets, which is just a good thing because I'm so allergic. Well, anyhow, this channel of mine, Missing in a Stitch, tells you mostly about cross stitch. I might every now and then tell you something about a bit of quilting that I do, or knitting or crochet, or other crafts I do. But now I thought I'd tell you a lot of my cross stitching, which means that I'll show you each and every one of my whips that I have. I thought I could count. I came up to 36 in January on the 24th when I went through, but I've finished 2 stitches of that list, but then I found 102, so I actually might be back to 36, but who's counting? I am. They are in no order, it's just the way I listed it on my notebook, and I'll go from there. So my first, I listed whips and other stitching, so I'm not sure what I meant by that in January, but I guess many of my whips have sadly been sitting in a box for many, many, many years. It was 2004-ish when I found cross stitching, and I saw a cross stitch magazine I lived in a really small village, and we had this kiosk there. They had different kind of magazines, and I saw this. First of all, it was in English, which was great. Then it had 2 dolphins on the cover. That was good enough reason to buy the magazine, and I read it from back to front, the way I usually read magazines. And then I started stitching the dolphins, which nowadays live at my daughter's. When I made it, I gave it to her, so I don't have a picture of that, but I'll have to get it someday. Since 2004, it's, how do they say it? The rest is history. I have had many years in between that I haven't stitched due to everything happening in life, and then I studied for 3 years. There wasn't much time for cross stitching. But anyhow, my whips. The first one I'm going to show you is the Hay Sal for 2024. It was a sale where you paid a $10 fee, I would say, to join the sale, and then you could pick a chart, a crop chart from an original Hay chart. There were 10 different ones, and I picked the red mushroom, which officially is called Merry Mushroom Village Picnic. The art is by Amy Stewart, and Michelle Sayeta has done the chart for this sal. It's got 90 different colors. I'm stitching it on 27 count Zweigart Linda, 1/1 full cross. And my mushroom, I just had to take the mushroom because it's red. Red is one of my favorite colors. And the mushroom looks like this. At the moment, I've got itchy nose. It's a Flosstube thing. I mean, so many scratch their nose during the videos, and I thought what would happen when I did one. But this is where I am with mine. I'm sort of like stitching a color at a time and going wherever it leads me. I don't have a system, but this is, and I have 6,131 stitches done, and my goal is to stitch the whole thing, which is 58,500 stitches. So that's my first one. My second stitch is something I started, I don't even remember when. I have to say before 2012, I think between 2007 and 2012. That's more accurate, I cannot tell you. I made myself some project bags. I had a spur last autumn. I did almost 30 project bags. So September, I'm ashamed to admit, it's a model stitch that I never got around to, and I don't know, the shop that asked me to do it doesn't exist anymore, so, but I sort of like feel ashamed. But the chart is this one. I think it's a beautiful one, and I love the orange hair. The artwork is by Jane Star Wales. It's called September. And the cross stitch design is by Anne-Marie Väisänen, which is a Finnish lady who had a cross stitch shop years ago. And where I am, I'm sorry, I have to put everything back, otherwise I'm a mess. And what I have stitched, oops, upside down. I started from the middle, and this is stitched on 25 count, some even weave. Don't know more about the fabric. I didn't, in my earlier days, I didn't, it was just good that I had the fabric and I knew what to do with it. This is stitched with the call for DMC, and it's stitched 2/2 with 2 strands, and it's got 70 colors. It's a full coverage one. It's 200 by 242. in all, I actually have 3 full coverage one. The first one was the Merry Mushroom. This is my second one, and my third one is also a Hade. The next one is a fox stitching that I found in a German magazine called Maxina. This one, it is from, I found the year somewhere, but I can't find it now. Was it 2011? Well, it cost only €4.50, so this is an old magazine. You can't get anything this cheap nowadays. And the fox I am stitching is this one. Oh, I really, really like it. It's nice. I started it 5th of January 2012. It was a month that in a Finnish cross-stitch group, we had this crazy idea of, and we called it Ultimate Crazy January Challenge. We started one new WIP every day in January in 2012. Okay, didn't get much done. I have continued stitching this during January in 25/7 challenge, and I have the bottom row. This is not a full coverage one, but it's sort of like full coverage until the fox turns around. I can't see what I'm showing. So there is ecru and white stitched here, so I've got the bottom part stitched. Gosh, this is wrinkly. I wonder if I have any. It's 25 count even weave, the color ecru. This work is 165 by 165, and it's got what, 25 colors DMC, and I'm stitching with the call for. And this fox is living also, well, all the project bags that I have I've done myself, and I just saw a couple in the YouTube videos Flosstube videos I've been watching, and then I just looked at them and started doing myself. Yep. Black and what? Black work, flowers and birds is something that I saw Laura, the I Stitch Birds on YouTube here. She was stitching it last year, and I really liked it, and I bought it, but I didn't get around to it until after Christmas, the 27th, I think. Yep, the 27th, because I had promised myself no new starts for 24, so I had to get it done. Started in when? In 2023, so that it's not a new start for this year. And I'm stitching it. I have it in WIPGO 2024, a couple of numbers. So that's one way I'm stitching, and my WIPGO goal is to get one block done. So this is my first block. It's really nice. I really enjoy it. And with my history of stitching and getting things ready, I thought I'd sign up every square. I've just, what have I done? 1/2024. So I've done the month and the year when I've stitched it. And that's how I'm going to do for each one, because I'm not sure when this will get ready. But anyhow, I've actually forgot to tell you, the fox, the design was Jan Wenink, and the art von Scheitin art, I think. So the blackbird flowers and birds is a design by Leslie Tier, and I'm doing this on WIPPARADE. The size is 238 by 206, and it's got 20 DMC colors, and I'm stitching with the call for. So that was WIP 4. The next one is Sweet Lifestyle by Doreen Jones. And after watching Laura's video today, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this one. I know I'm not going to chop it off, but it was a nice one to start, and I like Doreen Jones's designs. But this one, well, I didn't have all the call for colors, and I sort of like don't have that much income to buy whatever I want, even if it's the floss, and the floss here in Finland is expensive. So I started stitching this with a semi called for, but some of the colors are from what I had, and then I got confused because I didn't write everything up. Well, now I have them, so I guess this will get done. But this was called in January on the WIPPARADE, and I had some of this first shop done, but with having to find the colors that I had used that were not called for, it made me work. and once I found them, it started going, but it took me quite a time, and I had thought that I'd get this ready in January, no worries, but as you can see, we're in February, and it's not ready. So I'm just doing one block to get ready. There are two other shops here, and after that I consider the border and the text a fourth part. So I do hope to get this ready this year. I'm not going to chop it up, Laura, even if it takes me time. I'm not UFOing it, so that's what it takes to chop off fabric with stitching. You have to go and see Laura's video, I Stitch Birds, especially the one that came out today. Today is February 7th, to understand what I'm talking about. But this is 142 by 83, and it only has 13 colors, of which now I have written I've changed 3, and I know what the 3 are. So, and this is 14 count Ada. It's a brown, light brown color with a bit of modeling, but I guess you can't see that. Yeah, I'm a kind of person that's get excited about everything new, and if I see something that's even semi cute, oh, I want to stitch one, and I want to stitch that one, And then I'm here with 30 something whips and yeah. My second oldest whip is something that I really feel ashamed of because it's not ready. Well, my daughter, I promised it for my eldest daughter. She picked it out. This is my second Haid. Well, it was my first Haid, the first one I've ever started stitching, and she told me that I started this in 2009, so it's old. The chart is Love Me Not. It's art by Selena Fenich, and Michelle Sayeta has done the chart. I'm stitching it on 25 count even weave. It's got 21 DMC colors and 1 Kreinik. It's 283 by 390, but it's not a full coverage. It's a pretty one. I really like this one, but I'm not crazy enough to do it first for my daughter and then for myself, especially that it's taking me too many years to do. This is the only one, well, one of the ones that not in a project bag, that is in a Tupperware container. It's well, way back in 2009 I didn't know anything about project bags, and that was an easy way to have all of it in place. So I haven't done, wait, what way? This way? Nope, just a moment. These are the wings started and her hair. I'm just about getting down to her face. But it has taken me so long to get to this, but now I'm determined to stitch it ready for my daughter. It has 78,029 stitches, and I've done a 4.76%, which is 3,718 stitches. But I picked this up again in January in my 25/7, which means that each day I stitch 25 stitches, and I set a goal. I might miss days. It's not that I stitch every day on it. I might do like a week at a time, but in a month that has 31 days, it's 775 stitches. So that's my goal in all. And I have quite a way to go. Thankfully, my daughter's not angry with me for taking my time. I sort of like promised her that she'd get it when she's 30, and now she's 32, so it didn't happen. Yep. Winter Bouquet is my next one. It's a kit that my younger daughter bought me. She was on a holiday trip in Estonia, and she asked me if I wanted even weave or Ada. No, she asked if is Ada easier than even weave. I think something like that. That was also like over 10 years ago, I think. And I said Ada because I thought she was getting something for herself. well, she has told me that the reason that she doesn't do cross stitching is because it's so small, the thread or floss. She likes chunky. She likes to knit and crochet with chunky yarn. So I started it, the winter bouquet. This is a chart by Thea Governor. It's it is a beautiful bouquet of roses. This is 60 by 50 centimeters if done on the Ada. I started on the Ada. I did a middle start, and it was 1/1 on 14 count Ada, and I didn't like it. I know the chart is meant to be sort of like a paper, like a watercolor painting, but that's not, I didn't like it. So I did a new start, and this new start I started sometime last year. I haven't written when. So after 14 count Ada, I'm stitching it on 40 count even weave, which is quite a bit tinier, and I'm stitching it 1/1. This has 73 colors. It's a paper chart, so it's interesting to follow. And as Laura says, this is a pathetic start for it. But I've started it again, and I'm determined to get it ready. And this is something for my home. And then with all the Flosstubes that I've watched, I saw people braiding their floss, so I've done mine too. And I love these colors. They're so wonderful. So, and with choosing a 40 count with 1/1 full cross, no, with having a kit that doesn't have the DMCs or anything, I have to be able to stitch it with what I have. So that's why I chose the 40 count fabric with full cross, so that it will be done someday without having any floss running out. This also, well, they all do. I noticed that I don't show all of my project bags, but that's okay. This is one with fox fabric, and this is just wonderful. I like it. The next one is a lion. And that was also one of the ultimate crazy January challenges starts. The 31st of January in 2012. Yep, 2012. It's a Janlin kit. No, I'm not sure if it was a kit, but it's a Janlin anyhow. And I don't think this was a kit. It was just a chart, because I don't know. The design is by Roger W. Reynoldi, and what 23 colors, and I'm stitching it, oops, stitching it on a black even weave 28 count fabric 2/2. It's a nice one. I remember I really enjoyed stitching on 20 on black even weave. Nowadays, if it's black and Ada, that's good. I have a bit of a challenge with my eyesight and with the black fabric, so the only times that I can stitch on it is during days when we have daylight. And my dad made me a floor stand to have but here is where I've got to with, I got the little lion done, and I did take this on in January 2024, and I'm also doing this as a 25/7, and I sure hope I can get it. I have to get a lot of stitches into this year, so in most of my whips, but that was the lion. I don't have the size for it, sorry. Then last year I also found a place called Etsy. It's dangerous. I sort of like also went through all my Etsy purchases, and I've done 27 last year, so not that much, and actually I've got quite a lot of them stitched ready, but then I do have those oldies. But this is a black and white jar. I'm not sure if I have a picture of this. I guess I do somewhere, but there. But this is well, as the name says, it's black and white. But I'm not stitching it black and white, and I'm not stitching it, well, I'm stitching it on yellow 18 count Ada or 16. I was going to be sure that I know what to tell you, and now I'm pondering, but gladly I've written it up. So it's 18 count Ada, yellow, and I'm stitching this with 2 DMC colors, 700 and 743, a yellow and green, but then I'm also adding a bit of cranic and blending filament. This is 129 by 165. I've started this on the 23rd of August last year. The chart is by Svetlana Rybak. I hope I pronounced that right. And here is what I've got. This was one of those charts, you know, I saw it, I want that idea, and I started stitching, and then I stitched and stitched and stitched, and then something else came along. So this has been sitting for a couple of months already. But I did stitch on it a lot in August and September. This is on my WIP Go board, so this will get attention. And this is one also that I hope to have ready this year. Let's see. When I made my project bags, I did different sizes because I have different size of whips, and I thought that why have a huge one when I just need a small one. And this is that well, the window material, the see-through. I'm not sure if it's PVC or what kind of plastic it is, but I had a small strip, and I thought I'd use it to give a little of a window. And these owls, they're just gorgeous. Then I found on Facebook a group called 100 Days of Cross Stitch, or 100 Days of Cross Stitching. It's owned by MJ Blanco, and she does these at least 3 times a year, a stitch along where she gives it's 100 days, and she gives each day of the 100 days she gives a small part. She before it starts, the cell starts, she tells that how the chart is divided and how tall, how many stitches wide and high she has, and she gives you also at least a hint of what the colors would be, but you can do what you choose. So I started a floral sampler of hers on the 26th of September 23 not 83, 23. It's 109 by 100, and I'm doing it on 16 count Ada Ecro. I'm using 3 colors, and it's called the floral sampler. This, I guess, does have a picture of it because it's an older one. Yeah, it does. It's this one. I like it. I'm stitching it with 2 different blues, and then the flowers are, well, I can't remember what shade I'm purple. Actually, I've got 4 colors. I'm doing the alphabets in this variegated floss, and then the big, what are they called? Well, other than the flowers and the alphabet is done in that turquoise color. Yeah. It's not a big one. It's got 6,034 stitches, so should be doable in less than a year. Yay, we're on to the next page, and I'm only 40 minutes in. You Make My Heart Smile is also one of MJ Blanco's 100 Days of Cross Stitching. This was a cell that I actually started with, and I almost made it to the end, but then I didn't. I got 77.53% done. It's 135 stitches wide and 145 high. I'm doing it 40 count even weave, full cross, 2 colors with 2 colors. And I guess I have a picture of this also, because I had one of, nope, I have to go and check the PDF. This is really different from what I had. This was the original one, and below the big red hearts and next to the tree there is everybody got a choice what they wanted to stitch. Some stitch families, some stitch pets. I did the motifs that were given, or chose some of the motifs, and I'm missing this final row of the chart. And for some reason, I'm not a blue person, but this is also done on a blue. I've stitched this with a blue fabric. Now I understand when people say that, oh gosh, I haven't ironed anything. Neither have I. And these are really crinkly. But this is what I have. So I'm really missing just the widest part. So I've done 90 rows, and it has 100. Or I've done 90. I've done 9 rows of 10 parts, and I have the 10th row with 10 parts still left to do. But this is, I really like it. It's really beautiful. It's going to be small because this is smaller than an A4 letter, and this width is less than 20 centimeters, so it's not a big one with 40 count. And this also is something that is doable in a year, because it should have been doable in 100 days, which is 3 months. So a bit over 3 months. So I just need to get around to it. I do have this charted as a WIP go, so it's going to come out this year. And even though I have 25/7 and WIP go and what other challenges, I'm actually getting quite overwhelmed with everything that I've started. And I've sort of like thought that WIP go and 25/7, and even with 25/7, I mean, this month I decided to stitch on 5 different WIPs as 25/7, which means 5 times 725 stitches, which is quite a lot. So I'll have to see. My one main goal is to keep up with the Hate Sal. But let's get back to my WIPs. The next one, my cat Pescano. Oh, if you see me or have seen me in Instagram, I stitched this. I just had the middle motif done last year. It's a Doreen Jones freebie. And okay, this is one that doesn't have a picture because it's a freebie. It's just the design that she gives. You can find it in her Facebook page. It's Doreen Jones Designs, I think. And there she has albums that have the past years she has gathered them. And I think this was it one from 23 or 22? I'm not sure. Either or. This is stitched on a 25 count even weave. I've chose my own colors. I have, most of them are Anchor, and then one is DMC. And this is 60 by 60 in size, and it's one of my WIP goals. So why am I'm stitching it now? Because it was called for. No, this is a cat biscorno, and I have a mushroom. Anyhow, I made a huge mistake when I was stitching on this. I was on the Zoom that Beth Moisey, I'm sorry I can't remember her Flosstube name. I'm terrible with names and remembering things. I had a heart attack in September till 22, and after that, I don't know, some kind of memory problems after that. Sometimes I might remember something stupid like my phone number in Kenya, where I used to live in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, which doesn't have anything to do with nowadays. Yeah, so now I'm rambling. The cat Biscarno. It's a Doreen Jones. Well, since it's a freebie, I think it's okay to show you. I don't know. Is it? I guess it is. I use both Pattern Keeper and Markup XP. And I use markup with these charts that are picture based, because with them I get to you can get them better on Markup XP. So this is what I'm trying to stitch. I had this cat done and I had started this cat, but then I noticed that I'm only 16 away. I sort of like I realized that I started, well, it's this way. I had done this cat, all of it, but the pinpoint of the one ear is here underneath of each cat, and I had started from the ear, but I had gone this way instead of going this way. So once I had done this one, of course the next cat was off because I had it done counting from this cat. And I thought that, okay, this is a UFO. I don't want to stitch this anymore. But I slept over it, and last night I just sort of like ripped it out and ripped the cats that were in the wrong place and started again. So that's good. So that was my cat Biscarno. It's stitched on 18 count RTO Ada. The size, no, what am I talking about? I told you, 28, yeah. Yeah, I was on to the next one already. Cat Biscarno is 60 by 60 Doreen Jones freebie 29 count, even with anchor and DMC. The next one is something that I'm going to UFO, but I'm not going to chop it up. I'm just going to rip out what I had stitched, and that's that. Because this was a pathetic start for me. I was so happy to start it, and I thought that this is a wonderful one, but then something, I was stitching my grandson's Christmas present, and that took I stitched it for so what's the right word? It sort of like took a lot of my stitching time, so I didn't have I just didn't have in me to continue with the sal, and after I saw it, I think in the full, I think I'd like to do them, but as ornaments, because it was, I don't think I have it because it was a freebie, and it was pictures that she gives out, not the yeah, I don't have it. I don't have a pattern on either Pattern Keeper or Market XP. So but she had it was done in small pieces that had been bordered, outlined, and I thought they were so cute. It's a sal of 2023, Christmas sal, which you can find on her Facebook page. I thought they would be really nice as ornaments instead of a big one thing, because this is all I got done. I mean, a border for one part, and there were many parts. I can't even remember how many. So this is coming out, and I'm going to, I might, this is a hand-dyed, I dyed this myself. This is a fabric that I started talking about before, the 18 count RTO Ada. It's I dyed this myself. I had a dying moment, couple of weeks. I just dyed fabrics, and this is something that I really like. But I'm ripping this out, and let's see what happens. So there's -1 of a whip, and it's really, I'm not sad about it, because it's just something that I don't want to stitch anymore. So, but I'm not going to cut it because it has such a small amount of stitches. Then I think this is the smallest one I have at the moment. This is from a magazine. It was a kit. I think this was Cross Stitcher. I have the magazine somewhere, but I had taken a paper copy, a work copy for myself, and since this is something that okay, I have a picture on this photocopy about what it's going to look like. It's really small, I hope. Where should I show you? Can you see it? It's really, really small. Small little popcorn bear. The size is, do I have it? 42 by 40, so it's really small. I'm stitching it on 16 count Ada because no, it was a kit, so I guess this is 14 count. It looks smaller. Yeah, so this is where I've got with it. And this also I've started, I don't know when. But then I had I don't know where did somebody give this to me, or have I bought it myself? I doubt I bought anything like this myself because I didn't use these. So I guess I've got it either with a magazine or somebody's given it to me. I'm sorry if I don't remember right. But this is a floss holder, so I think it's cute. And obviously it was available when I started this one, so I have all the floss for the kit. The popcorn kit, and this is also, shame on me, it's 1 week and then it's done. Maybe we're watching well, I really like to watch different kind of sports, and one that is my favorite is or one of my favorites is biathlon, which today they are starting the biathlon world championships, so I will be watching that. And I think I'm going to make a promise to you that by the end of this biathlon world championships, this will be ready. I'm not going to promise it's going to be FFO'd, but it's going to be stitched. Yes, that's something that I promise you, and I'll leave it here on my table so that it's reminding me. The next one, Barbara Anna Designs, the only one I've ever started. I can't remember. This was a Sal. I have written Creative Poppy, but I can't remember what what it has to do with this. I'm sorry. Uh, it's Cleo. It was a mystery cell, but it's not anymore. Cleo is an Egyptian design, size 73 by 117. I'm stitching it on 32 count even weave with 16 colors, the called for, except that I think I had to change one or two. Well, anyhow, this is also one that I have on my whip go, and I wonder if I have a picture of it. I guess I do, because yeah, here. The copyright is Barbara Anna Designs. It's Cleo Mystery Cell published by Creative Poppy. So it's funny how you can find information on the chart. It's you don't have to rely on your memory. But this is how she will look when she's done. I guess the background fabric will also make quite an impact on the chart, because it's a bit different stitching on a brown one than on something very light like I have. This was a small piece that I found. I love the print on it. It's a hand dyed. I bought this from somewhere million years ago, and this is where I got with my Cleo. Not much. And this also is something that could be done this year. I realize now that I'm hearing you people talk. I should, and I need to get back to this, and this could be done, and I should stitch on this. You know, all those Flosstube sentences. But I guess that's just something that we stitchers have in common. Yeah, so this will be stitched at least in one of my whip goes. I told you earlier that I do some quilting, and once upon a time, many years ago, I watched a video on YouTube, surprise, where they told about this cathedral window, and I just had to try it, and I think it's beautiful. This is the only block that I did, and last year I decided to make it into a what is this, project bag. Yeah, so the block got good use. And my next one, after Cleo, it reads Garland. It's my third NJ Blanco 100 Days of Cross-Stitching design. I think by now you could tell I like her. It's the size 105 by 105. I'm stitching it on 28 count Jaslyn. I actually had that information on the fabric. I wouldn't remember it otherwise. I'm using 2 colors of DMC. This is a chart from 2021, and it's also it's on my wood go board, and it's called Garland. And this is in a bag. I had these pieces and I stitched them up. I quilted. This is a quilt block. But then I had leftovers and I went crazy. I just started putting them on a whatever the it's a fabric that's in between the layers of the actual fabric. I can't remember what the name is now. But it makes it a bit stiffer, so I just took a piece and started adding these centerpieces onto it and went crazy. But it was fun. Oops. I haven't touched this. And now I realize that I don't think I have a whip. I never kit up anything. Oh my gosh, look at this fabric. Yeah, here's the sticker on it. And I mean, I've had this fabric for like 15 something years. And it's beautiful. It's a hand-dyed one. It's a hand-dyed one by who? Silk Weaver. It's pretty. And it's supposed to have stitching on it since I thought this was a whip. But now I'm down one. Because 2024 is just the one start, which is I'm combining Webster's can't remember who's actually doing the stitch along with the flags. Someone from Australia, I think, because it was started on their 26th of January, and they have some kind of an important day. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's an Independence Day or whatever. It's just something they don't use that word, but yeah, I had marked the place where to start. But as you can see, nothing has happened. So this is not a whip for 2024. I'm not starting this just because I hadn't started it before. I thought I had. I hadn't what me and my brain. But just because I have it here, I'll show you what I thought I had started. So this is the garland. I think it's really pretty. But it's a start for 2025. Let's agree that, okay? Gosh, I'm not sure what I need to do with myself and my memory. Oh, then this just shows that having too many whips is not capable for my brains. Yeah. But the bag is nice and colorful, even though it doesn't have a cross stitch in it. Or a started one. The next one also was a sal. Started on the 4th of September last year by Rose Cocoon. Sorry, I don't pronounce French that good. She's on Instagram, and her name is Rose, and then the slash at the bottom, COCON. And it's an owl forest embroidery pattern called Pumpkin Colored Autumn. The size is 167 wide and 212 high. I'm stitching it on 40 count, even with 6 DMC floss, some are variegated, some are just normal. And this also is part of my WIP goal 2024. Sometimes I do use my stitching that I've done before in my project bags, and this just has a small peek window to see what's in. And then, you know, do you know this? Finding floss, don't know where it's from and what. Yeah. They stick around. I can't remember what this design is. I know it's a freebie because I do quite a lot of freebies. I've stitched this in 2022 and it says autumn is here. This has nothing to do with my WIP go, it's just on the project bag of a WIP that I'm going to show you in just a short while. But I thought it's a nice one. It's got a bird that's on a branch with leaves. And it says autumn is here. Winter is here, and I so wish it would be spring. We're minus 11 degrees Celsius today in my hometown, which is Hyvinkää, just 50 kilometers north from our capital city, Helsinki. And we've got loads of snow and we're freezing. Okay, 11 minus isn't that bad, but I've lived in Africa for 13 years in Kenya, on that side of the equator, so I'd rather have the temperatures from there, freezing when we had 20 degrees Celsius. But anyhow, rambling. This is my pumpkin colored autumn. I wonder if I can get it a bit better. I'm stitching this well, it's coming out as a WIP go, but I also like stitching. I'm sort of a mixed. I do have plans. Actually, I think this is the first year, except for the year in 2012, that we had that Ultimate Crazy January challenge. And that was also the idea that you stitch everything ready during 2020. 2012 didn't happen. But I have my WIP go, I have my 25/7. But then I also just otherwise stitch when I want, when I want. If I get my goals set, or most of them set during the month, then, well, actually, not even that. I just, when I feel like it, I just pick one out and stitch on it. Yep, so this is a design that I bought. Thank you, Laura, from My Stitch Birds. She's an enabler. Yeah, and since I'm so easy to be enabled. So she showed something, and then I went and looked on Etsy, and then I found, and then I bought, and then I started stitching. So this star is for you. It's a design by Nadezhda Nagornoya, something like that. The design size is 166 by 197. It's even weave, but I always count the even weave before I start stitching so that I need what kind of a piece I need. But I haven't written it up and I didn't remember to check it out. So I don't know the count of this. This looks smaller. It looks like a 32. It's not big enough for a 28. Yeah, well anyhow, DNC 12 colors and I'm using what's called for. And this is where I am with it. He's a really, really, really beautiful fox. And I'm not telling you that I have about 6 of these foxes. I don't think I have them all bought, but I had them favored in the Etsy shop. I do have at least 2 or 3. What this is going to be, it has a bit of a, I wonder if I can find it. It's the saying, "This star is for you." He's got a star hanging somewhere near his mouth, and that's the idea of the star. Just a moment. I hope I can find it. Find it in this thingamajiggy. What is it called? A tablet. I have Peekaboo and I Am a Rabbit too in this series. But where is my fox? I thought I was organized, but I'm not. Let's go and check one place more, and if I can't find it from there, then it's something that I'll show you. Yeah, I can't find it. Wait. No. Yeah. It's going to have a lot of cross stitching on the top, something like this, and then a few stars here and there. So not much to go, but some. And this also is in a project bag I made for myself. Not having enough fabric is not a problem. I just sewed some black to the green. So now I have the back of the project bag also. And I like these big windows because you can see what you have in it. I don't like putting the chart or the paper, the picture, against this plastic because it might get stuck. So I always have fabric. I mostly have fabric. Yep, so that was The Star Is For You. The next one also is something that I noticed that Laura has had quite an influence on my stitchings last year. She had one of her Flosstube showing that she showed different kind of patterns from different kind of shops, online shops. And then she said, "Oh, I wish somebody would stitch this." And well, I started stitching one for her to see. And it's a snow globe owl. I guess Laura remembers that. This was sort of like I don't know what I'd call this. Uh, I don't have the picture because when I took it to Pattern Keeper, it's just it was just a chart without a picture, so it doesn't have no. Oh, was it from my bobbin? No, I'm sorry. People talk about being prepared. Haha, I thought I was. No, I wasn't. uh, I really don't know why. Um, I was going to say, I wonder if I have. Ah, just a moment, please. Yeah, it doesn't have a picture. Does it have a picture on the PDF either? This is something boring. But what I can tell you is that it's 88 by 98. The size, it has 50 colors plus blends. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 blends. Yay! I'm not the biggest fan of blends. I do them, but I don't go seeking out patterns with blends. It's from Cross Stitch Pictorial, and Pakomova Victoria is well, I don't understand Russian. I don't even understand the letters. Never studied it, even though we're neighboring countries. But the chart says that all copyrights are owned by Victoria Pakomova, so I think this is her design. So I dyed some fabric, and then I thought that, yay, this would be a good one for this design, but I'm not sure. Can you see anything? I guess by the time it's all stitched and I have the back stitching everything, it will pop out more, but it's sort of like, can you really see anything? Well, okay, when you bring it close, but it looks totally different. Different on the video than to your bare eyes. It's but I'm getting there, Laura. I'm getting there. I guess this is the way I need to show it for her to see, because this is so much better than pictures or, yep. But this is a design that I'm sorry I don't have the picture. I'll just have to show it as it grows. And by the time it's stitched, it's not even a big one. What was it? 88 by 98? Yeah. But the blend, my favorite. No. Anyhow, it's something that I started. Okay, I would not have started something that I didn't like myself. So it's but it's sort of like a nice bonus to be able to stitch it so that it's sort of like being asked for to be stitched by somebody, if not directly to me, but somebody. And it's nice to show other people. I do have stitchy friends. They're sort of like all over Finland, and Well, after I started studying in 2016 to be a craft instructor, uh, I've sort of like been out of those circles. Okay, on Facebook, and much more after COVID, I think. But anyhow. So the next one is the mushroom biscornu, and this is also a Doreen Jones freebie from her Facebook page. I started this on September 29th, 23. It's stitched on 28 count linen with DMC colors, 12 colors. And I have changed 2 colors because I didn't have them, and I wanted to start on this one. And it's also on my WIP Go, which was actually called this month. So I just had, oops, I had this mushroom and everything done around it. Well, okay, not all of the mushroom is ready, but the grass and the flowers, and yeah. And these are what I've been stitching on this month in February. So this is one that I have determined on my WIP Go board that I will have this fully finished. I have to get some other fabric for the other side, the bottom side of this, because I don't have enough of this what is it, how this is dyed, this fabric. This is the only piece that I have, and yeah, that's a nice one. And actually this is one that I started stitching in hands. I originally started stitching in hand, but then sometime during the years I found Q-snaps, and then those wooden nudges. But I also have these plastic nudges also, and I'm getting one for my birthday, a plastic nudge. I think it's, or the squared one, or yeah. But anyhow, this is my mushrooms, and it's going fine. I'm color completing this, so it's like and me and counting. I mean, I do counted cross stitch. And not one mushroom, even though they're the same on the chart, they're not going to be same as stitched, because I continue to mess up my counting. But nobody else will have a mushroom chart like mine, or a mushroom biscorno. One thing that I did, I ran out of the window material at one time. Now I have it more, but I wanted to know what I have in my bag, so I did a small window pocket here, because I had these small pieces of the window plastic. So I stitched fabric around it and left one side open so that I can write a note that what I have inside the bag. Not all the bags have this, but some. That was, I guess that was something that I came up afterwards. So, where am I going? Next page. Years ago, way back in 2006, 6, 7, 2007. My eldest daughter, she was 15, and she had got this scooter for her birthday, or not her birthday present, but she had got a scooter because she was 15, and here in Finland you can drive a scooter once you're 15. My son, who was, he's 7 years younger than my firstborn, he got this cross, you know, where you can drive on these certain areas with a smaller motorbike or something. I can't remember, can't get it into my mind what they're called, but anyhow, he got that. And the third thing, I have 3 children, so my younger daughter, she was asked what she wants, and she said she wants a dog. Okay, it took a couple of months searching for what she would want, and then after all she decided to have a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, which was called Tycho. He was a small little cute puppy that we had, but unfortunately he was home with us for just like a month, and he suddenly died. But I had a friend who had this program that could make cross-stitch designs from pictures, so I sent her a picture, and she made me a chart. I don't